Bedside Manor by The Sometimes Warrior. Read to you by The Devil's Advocate 18. Summary. By his count, it's the third time he'd visited her in some kind of hospital, and the first time he has no choice but to admit to himself that it's for any reason other than professional obligation. I've been where you are, sweetheart. By his count, it's the third time he had visited her in some kind of hospital, and the first time he has no choice but to admit to himself that it's for any reason other than professional obligation. The first, right after her games, had been standard mentor stuff, inspecting his victor and all that. Even if he did become more involved, emotionally or otherwise, than the game makers would have liked. The second, in 13, had also been business. Now, though, there's no one but his ghost to tell Hamish to be there. His ghost and the atrophied yet still somehow banging organ in his chest. He has to wait, when he arrives, for the flurry of doctors to give Katniss some space, and then longer, for Astrid to leave her side, despite the increasing list of things they've come to share. He still can't stand to be in the same room as the woman. Not alone, and with the condition that Katniss is in, she hardly counts as a buffer, and Astrid seems to reciprocate the sentiment. The year they spent as neighbors in Victor's village brought them to a cordial place, a cool understanding that they both seem to grasp, even if it remains more or less unspoken between them. With everything she too has recently lost, now is not the time to go changing arrangements. And Hamish supposes that Astrid knows, too, that there are things her daughter trusts of him, with all of his faults, that she doesn't trust her mother. After all, Katniss had only ever seen Hamish broken. She'd never watched him fall apart. They catch each other's eyes as Astrid passes to give him the room. Briefly holding each other's gaze. She breaks it and walks away before he can say anything, though, which is probably for the best. And then there's nothing stopping him. Hamish enters to see a patchwork Katniss sandwiched and wreathed in various pieces of white. Sheets here, gauze there, a milky hue of morveline falling through her veins. Hamish locates and slumps into a chair next to her bed. For an instant, surprising himself, he's tempted to reach for her hand, and is only stopped by the bandages to remind him of how fragile her burned, damaged skin is. Rough hands like his have only ever shattered delicate things. So absent as a bottle to grip, he awkwardly places his palm on his knees. "I've been where you are, sweetheart." His voice is a rasp into the air, or whatever part of Katniss might be able to hear him beneath the drugs and the other less psychological haze. He cocks his head towards the morveline drip, and not just because of that shit. A pause. Because you got into all of this to protect someone, and in the end you lost them anyways. And you feel like, more than you feel like, you know. He inhales, exhales. Christ, that IV looks enticing. And it's not your fault that they're gone. A swallow. Been there, sweetheart. The machines whiz. Katniss release a fitful groan as if in response. A flint of gold catches Hamish's eyes from her bedside table, and he stands, paces towards it. The Mockingjay thing was always kinda weird. He fingers the pin. I get Plutarch's need for propos, and I guess it worked in the end. United the districts, built an army on all that. But you're not a goddamn bird, still. He turns his face back to hers. Once he had been reminded of her, of Luella, and now, when she furrows her brows, when she glares at him, this moment, with pain on her face and the way the morveline drip calms her unconscious scowl. How long were his eyes like that before they were pried back open, before someone had to do the prying? Hope hurts sometimes, like bright lights after your eyes have been clenched shut a long time, like a hangover. like a withdraw deep below District 13. Lenore Dove always said mocking jays could hurt your ears before they turned sweet. Haymitch continues, you and me are the same in the way that we don't like to be in anyone's debt. So when I tell you that I'm going to take care of you, make sure you survive the same way you brought me back to life after 25 years. It's not out of the goodness of my heart. Got it? And it's sure not because I was your mentor. The games are done. It's because it makes us even. He pivots back to her. And lucky for you, I'm meaner than all the people who tried to be there for me way back when. I'm sure a hell of a lot meaner than your pa. You try push me away, you just see what happens. I'm not promising to be good at it. I'll probably find a way to fuck it up at some point, but I'm not going anywhere. When he gets close enough, he kneels by the side of her bed, her brows furrowed. I survived, sweetheart. Haymitch whispers into her ear. Rough hands like his have only shattered delicate things, but Katniss has never been delicate. So will you. This was Bedside Manor by The Sometimes Warrior, read to you by The Devil's Advocate 18. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm very sorry for the weird accent switch in the middle where I go from different accents for Haymitch. I'm still trying to hammer out what I want to do for his voice. So yeah, it's definitely not perfect, but it's what we have right now. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time.